Hi friends, welcome to our YouTube channel, one and only pharmacy. So friends, in this video, we'll discuss about suspension chapter, subject pharmaceutics second, D pharmacy second year, presented by one and only pharmacy YouTube channel. So friends, I request you to all please watch this video till the end. Let's start. Contents or topics covered under this video: definition of suspension, ideal properties of suspension, formulation of suspension, types of suspension, and classification of suspension. This point we are discussing today's lecture. Let's start with these definitions. Suspension definition. What suspension? It is a biphasic dosage form. Suspension is a biphasic dosage form comprising a dispersion of solid fine particles in a suitable solvent in which these are insoluble. Ideal properties of suspension: it should have uniform particle size. The viscosity of suspension should be such that it should be easily pourable. It should be physically and chemically stable during its shelf life. It should not form a cake upon settling of particles. The sediment produced on standing shall be easily redispersible upon shaking. It should have good flavor and color and should be palatable. It should not cause GIT irritation. These are the 7 ideal properties of suspension. Every suspension should must have these ideal properties. Formulation, additives or excipients used in suspension. There are main 6 agents or additives or excipients used in preparing suspension, which are flocculating agent, suspending agent, wetting agent, dispersants, preservative, organoleptic additives. In organoleptic, there are also 3 subtypes: coloring agent, flavoring agent, and sweetening agent. Let's see one by one in detail. Flocculating agents. These are the agents which produce flocculation. Example: electrolytes, polymers, surfactants. What's, what is flocculating agents? These are the agents which produce flocculation. Example: electrolytes, polymers, surfactants, etc. Second, suspending agent. We have seen in emulsion chapter there will be emulsifying agent, and in this chapter in suspension there should be suspending agent. The additives which increase the viscosity of continuous phase are known as suspending agent. The additives which increase the viscosity of continuous phase are known as a suspending agent. They reduce the rate of sedimentation of particles. Suspending agent may also affect pourability, spreadability, flow property of the final product. For example, methyl cellulose, gelatin, acacia, tragacanth, etc. are the suspending agent used in preparing suspension. Third, wetting agents. These reduce the interfacial tension between the solid particles and dispersion medium, means solvent, and make poor wetting of solids. These are necessary when poorly wettable solids are present. This agent also produces flocculation. For example, sulfur, hydrocortisone, soap, benzalkonium chloride, etc. are the example of wetting agents. Dispersants or dispersants. These are necessary in deflocculated type of suspension. We next seen that what is deflocculated and flocculated type of suspension. Dispersants are generally used in necessary in a deflocculated type of suspension. Dispersants prevent aggregation of particles and thus make individual particle in a dispersed state. Example: Darwans, Daxarts, etc. are the examples of dispersants. Preservative. Preservative is necessary to prevent microbial growth in suspension. Example: esters of para-hydroxybenzoic acid. Sixth, organoleptic additives. Orally used suspension require organoleptic additives like coloring agent for attractiveness and elegance. Example: caramel. Caramel is a coloring agent used in preparing suspension. Flavoring agent for good smell and pleasantness. Example: peppermint. Third, sweetening agent for palatability. Example: syrups. These are the additives, excipients, or adjuncts used in suspension. Next point, types of suspension. There are 2 types of suspension. First, flocculated suspension, and second, deflocculated suspension. We are seen that in difference pattern. First point, in flocculated suspension. In this case, particles form a network like which looks like a scaffold-like structure. and in deploculated, in this case, each particle present as a separate entity. Second point, sediment is easily redispersible upon shaking. In deploculated, sediment is difficult for redispersion. Third, chances of cake formation are less. In deploculated, chances of cake formation are more. In flocculated, fourth point, structural vehicle is necessary to suspend the floccles. And in deflocculated, structural vehicle is not necessary. These are the 4 points of flocculated and deflocculated suspension. Next point, classification of suspension. First, suspension for oral administration. Example, milk of magnesia IP. Second, suspension for external use. Example, calamine lotion BP. Third, suspension for parenteral administration. Example, insulin zinc suspension IP, protamine zinc insulin injection IP. Thank you guys. These are the simple chapter of pharmaceutics second suspension. So friends, if you new on the channel, so please like, share and subscribe to our YouTube channel for pharmacy related videos. Thank you guys.